Season 2!
Hello, and welcome to Season 2 and Episode 52 of Friends of the Show. I am Stephen W. Skinner, and this is a podcast where I get to know some of the nicest and funniest people on the internet. And I'm excited to bring you a whole new season filled with podcasting fun with my friends from online. It feels great to be back on the mic, chatting with these great and funny folks. And speaking of funny folks, this week's friend is Taffy Bennington at Sing with Taffy. And Taffy was simply a delight to talk to. We cover it all. Sandwiches, pickles, pickle sandwiches. I was so happy that this is the premiere episode because it's so much fun, and as a bonus, it's extra long. Now here's the series premiere, Friends of the Show, episode 52 with Taffy Bennington. I used to play the theme to kick it off, but I was going to get a new theme, but I didn't get a new theme yet.
What kind of a theme are you thinking about?
Well, this is the old theme.
Oh, yes. I'm familiar with it. I like it.
It says podcast. I think that's me saying podcast, and my cousin just slowed it down.
Love it. Fantastic.
So I was thinking a new version of that would be great, like some sort of remix version. So if anyone's listening and want to give me a sweet Season 2 remix.
Yeah, like dubstep.
Yeah, dubstep. Let there be a drop.
So awesome.
Like some snaps and claps.
5 different remixes.
Yeah, different remix every show. That's what we're all about. Yeah. Everything's new in Season 2. And so welcome to the show at Sing with Taffy. Here we go, Friends of the Show, episode 52.
Hello.
Hello, welcome. So we've already been chatting.
Thank you so much.
We've been chatting a little bit, so we're sort of mid-conversation here.
And we have many things to discuss.
We have so many things to discuss, so I wanted to start the show immediately and discuss them. You're Sing with Taffy. Tell us who you are for the uninitiated.
Hello, I am Taffy Bennington, and it's a pleasure to speak with you.
That's it.
Stephen, and anyone
Bennington.
who may listen as well. It's a pleasure to speak with you.
Thank you to all the listeners out there who are listening back with us for Season 2. We got a banger of a kickoff episode, pilot episode. We got Taffy Bennington, the YouTube video hilarious star. Many hilarious videos on YouTube. Anarchy 101. It's insane. How did I get it? How did I get her on the show? You may never know. I have powerful booking agents. And they pulled through for this amazing episode, Sing with Taffy. So, Taffy, when did you start your channel?
It's been probably 4.5 years. YouTube is a good format if you have something. Well, at first, Twitter format was only 30 seconds. And now it's 220, which I think it protects the rights of a lot of artist music, because then you can't upload an entire song, because most songs are a little bit longer than that. But for the videos that you want to do, it's so great. You just upload them straight onto Twitter, do a little maybe editing before, but you could have a ton of fun making short. Just hold the video camera and walk to work and whistle and stuff and say hi to people that don't know you or whatever.
I'm writing these down. Writing these down. Okay, whistling on the way to work. Got it. The dwarves did it first, but I could do it better. What else? I need more ideas here. Viv, that's the main thing, right? You gotta sort of...
one more. Okay, well... just videotape your entire day, another thing. But I think anything disrupting people that are around you and witnessing you taking video would be fantastic.
Yeah, there are the disrupting people. Who are some of your contemporaries, would you say, also creating good video content that that you're sort of I see what you're doing over there. That's good. You disrupting people in an interesting way?
Oh, my goodness. Well, I wouldn't dare compare myself to anyone, but do you mean friends that I've seen do things?
Yeah, friends, or people you look up to, the top people in the game, whoever you think of, when you're oh, that's someone who I sort of aspire to be. I like some of the things that they're doing. I want to try to emulate that in my own work, something like that. Anybody? Who do you watch? Who are you? Whose channels are you subscribed to? Because that's a big thing, right? Subscribers.
Yes, you know what, Stephen? I have to tell you, I don't really participate on YouTube. I tried a few times, but it didn't work out very well. I Twitter is a very fun platform for me. So many wonderful and lovely people from all over the world, and it's like a different planet that I'm completely unfamiliar with and I don't understand. Yeah. I mean, I do love YouTube because it allows us to upload these very, these longer, silly, fun times that we have, and we get a kick out of doing, and it's very fun if other people enjoy them as well. But as far as, you know what? I have no answer for that, I don't believe.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah,
just particularly YouTube people, I'm not really familiar with, because I think it's it's like a whole different realm there. Besides just artists putting up, but we're not really there. My buddy that I do this with, B. O'Malley, he's been one of my best friends for a very long time. He is an extremely talented musician and filmmaker, or filmmaker and musician. It's like, if I could just combine that thing permanently, that would be him.
Right.
And this is purely hobby, and it's fun, and we have blow off steam and have a good time doing it and make ourselves laugh, and we get to include other people sometimes, and that's super fun too.
Yes, of course. That's a great thing about it, right?
Actually,
That's
when we have other people come out for them,
and
I get to meet new people, and I get to give them snacks and laugh with them and make them comfortable. And that's my favorite part about the whole thing.
Sounds like you're a good hostess, is what you're trying to say. The first thing you said was give snacks and make them comfortable. So that's great.
I try, because I appreciate it. So much people, take their time to come and spend the day with us, and it's not usually under the most comfortable. Sometimes we're outside, and they have to wait for me to do my stuff. But
you're number one on the call sheet, is what you're trying to say, on the industry lingo.
Well, let's see. I do wear different hats.
Okay.
Not just different wigs, but hats. So I do a lot of pre-production, production, of course, craft services, providing snacks.
Yes, craft services. I knew you were going to hit that one.
And then so by the time we actually arrive to wherever we're shooting, then it takes me about at least one good pass before I can switch gears, where I'm no longer taking care of that part, and then I can go straight into.
So you switch from a producer type mode to a performer type mode.
Yes, and I usually can tell if I'm in gear as soon as I see B. O'Malley smile or laugh behind the camera. Then I know that I'm like in the mode, so then I can kind of get in with it, and then I'm just there. So
that's great. So you can get some sort of feedback, on your performance in the moment.
Yes, I definitely need that.
You're feeding off of it to give your performance.
Yeah, I can tell. Yeah, if B. O'Malley laughs or he puts his head to the side and starts laughing, then I know that that
nailed the take.
Look I have to get in my eyes to kind of channel whatever character we're doing, if that makes sense.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's what I was interested in, how performers, what like the process is to get all Mark Maron, find out what the process is. Hey, what's your process?
Oh, you know
what are you
what's
doing?
trippy? I have one of my really good girlfriends, Juliet Landau. She is a professional performer. She's been doing it for a long time, and she's exquisite. And I've seen her, and she's fascinating to watch perform. She is, So that's, when you say performers, I don't consider myself in that, because we're just doing this to have fun. But I see what you say as far as performers and
well, it sounds like you're still doing it on a certain level, and you obviously have a process, right? So you had to switch gears, so you had to switch modes. So
yes.
So what do you have to do to get into character?
Usually some deep breaths, and then looking around, make sure everything is all right and settled, and it's okay for me to switch the mode.
Right, and then
it's time to start goofing.
Once it's ready everything's in place and everyone's ready, then you can be a little silly, let's say.
Yes.
Your videos are a little silly
sometimes.
Yeah. So how would you describe your videos? A little silly.
I mean, hopefully. Silly, a little bit, super dumb. Super dumb. They're dumb, okay? That's how I would describe them. They're super dumb.
Super dumb. So, so let's talk about some of these videos, because the fans are clamoring about some of the videos.
Oh, my God.
We'll get to the questions later, but from the questions that I can glean, they are loving the sandwich video, which I watched today. I mean, I watched a bit of it before, but then I watched the entire thing today, and it was great.
Okay. Oh, my God. Anthony was so perfect for that. We hadn't done anything for a while, and we're kind of like, we need to get off our asses and we need to shoot another video, because we were getting kind of too comfortable with not putting anything out.
Mm-hmm.
And another hilarious thing is that we actually get we get
okay, here we go.
we get our songs professionally mixed now, which is just completely bizarre.
It's not bizarre, it's professional. You guys are taking the next step.
We just happen to, meet this lovely professional mixer, and he has fun doing it as well. It's the same reason why we do it, because it's fun. So, and he's fantastic and quick and enjoys doing it. So we're very lucky to have him. So we got the song back, and it was so funny, and it was so stupid, and just getting to scream profanities. And so Anthony coming in, his handle is at Octopus Caveman.
We're talking about Octopus Caveman from Twitter.
Yes.
He's got a very large following, and update, he's been shadow banned. Has he? That's what he's been tweeting about. So he said he's going to step away for a bit from Twitter.
That's not good.
No, it's not good. And at first I was like, I'm not even sure what that is. But it's like when Twitter takes you off like search lists and stuff, so you don't show up or whatever when people are looking for people to follow.
Why would that happen to him?
Remember when his account was shut down or whatever? I think it might have something to do with that.
Okay.
I don't know all the details, but you should talk to your friend Anthony and find out. And everybody, check him out on Twitter. All the tweets are still there. Very funny, hilarious guy, Octopus Caveman, talking about Anthony from the video that we're talking about. Sandwiches.
Anthony, I'd like to apologize if your shadow pan had anything to do with you eating everything but sandwiches on video with me.
I think this might have something to do with it, actually. We should get into the details.
Anthony, I'm sorry.
We need to get into the details of what actually is on the video, just to clear this up, because it could be the reason. This could clear the air, and we could, if any Twitter bigwigs are listening, just click that unshadow ban button and get Anthony back on those searches, because he's great and everyone should be following him at Octopus Caveman. And just for reasons like this, he came out and did this hilarious video with Taffy, and he had
just to be a nice friend,
just to be a good friend. And so and now
Twitter is punishing him, and it's all my fault.
It may be, but let's just be clear. Okay, so what? Can you describe what is happening in the video? What was the concept, let's say? What was the pitch? What's the pitch for this?
Okay, so basically, this is how they all start, all right? B. O'Malley. He's like, hey, what do you do? And I'm like, nothing. And so he calls me, and he's like, I've got a song about liking sandwiches. And then he just starts playing it and he's like, and then you're singing about liking sandwiches. And then you just start screaming, fuck you, fuck him at this dude that's not eating sandwiches. And then we just laugh for like 5 minutes.
I mean, it's simple and it's effective.
B. O'Malley, he's basically the talent behind anything that actually happens.
Okay, so it's a collaborative effort is what you're saying.
Extremely, yeah. I'm like
you're the face.
I'm like the puppet, basically. He tells me what to do.
Okay.
Tells me what to sing. I mean, I have, had a few ideas here and there, and he always welcomes them. And he's very accommodating that way, and it's so fun. And but he usually well. Actually, my husband, Otto Bennington, has shot several of them as well.
Oh, guest director.
Yes. And we also had a good friend, Dan.
Okay.
He does musical things with O'Malley. He's going to kill me.
Yes.
He shot Hair and Eyes, and he shot Sauce Estival Colon. And what else? Let's see. He also shot Butterflies Taste Like Butterflies.
That's a great one.
Yeah, that was so fun. That was really cool. We have these friends in LA. Oh my God. Okay. I'm going to have to tell you the name later. It's been a while, but they give us full access of their studio.
Oh, wow.
Several times.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, it's a huge studio, and they have all these people, but they've been friends of ours for a while, and they let us use it several times. It's this huge green screen. It's like a 20-foot green screen or something.
Wow, that's amazing.
Oh, it's Evidence Film Studios in LA.
Check them out if you need a studio.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great
They got a
place.
big screen. They got a big green screen.
It's huge. Yeah, they actually have 2 rooms, and they have full camera equipment. And we shot Targaryen there too.
I was definitely going to talk about that because as of this record, the brand new final season of Game of Thrones has just aired. And that's wild. You got a crazy Game of Thrones video.
Steven, did you see that video? It was so adorable. There was, guessing it's somewhere in Europe. I don't even know where it was. But there was this very large gathering of people. And they had a very large screen, and it showed the opening credits. They were obviously watching it, at an earlier time, like when it first premiered before it reached the United States and Canada.
Yeah. Yes.
And Mexico. And the place just went wild, and it was fantastic to see. I love joyous celebrations by humans. It just makes me happy to see. That's one of my favorite things about this show. People get so hyped up about it, and they enjoy it, and they like talking about it. It's pretty cool.
You know what? That is cool, and I think you nailed it. Like, for all the Game of Thrones haters, but it's like, let the people like what they like. But when a lot of people like something, it's so great to have that sort of shared language, like when you're talking about your favorite show with a friend, but it could be a stranger that you're talking about your favorite show with, and you have that same the language, your opinions about characters and all that stuff that you can talk about. It's great. So I agree. I think that's great. And the other part is the gathering of people together to enjoy something together. That's great. Whenever you can get an audience going, you get a great audience going, forget about it. We've all been in good audiences, right?
And so they're hanging out with their buddies.
Oh,
and
so
they're
good,
having
yeah.
Drinks and
viewing
watching
parties, and they
did.
They looked up some cookies on Pinterest to make them shaped like this different sigils.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah. Different people go
That's
to different
adorable.
extremes for viewing parties, and I'm glad. It'd be great to go to a viewing party and get a sigil cookie.
Anything on this planet that brings people together and you have that sense of camaraderie and similar enjoyment, it's fantastic. It's like
Love
what
it.
we live for.
So, Game of Thrones, you kind of know something about Game of Thrones because you did this video, Targaryen. Is that right? Is that what it's called? Targaryen?
Yeah.
Just Targaryen? Yeah. So when people are YouTubing it, they can just go YouTube Taffy Bennington, Targaryen. Oh, Game of Thrones spoof, it says.
Yeah, I think B. O'Malley edited that. He added that on a little bit later to give. We're a little bit too cut and dry about our content. We don't always think about what other people might need to relate to it or try to relate to it. So, just like here's the song and it's called Targaryen and whatever. Watch it if you want to. Like,
yeah.
We sometimes try to make an effort to connect with people a little bit more. It's not that we don't care, but don't want to push anything on people. Like,
yeah, you don't do it every time.
If you want to watch it, that's cool. If not, like, you're still my friend. I don't care, So, but I think by adding little, a little more of a description in the title, or he went through recently and redid a few of the thumbnails.
Yeah, the thumbnails are huge. Yeah, they all have
did a good job.
Good pictures with the title, right, and you can see it right away. And they're good. Gives you like a sense of what the video is, like right away. Like the Targaryen one,
you.
It's you.
I think he did great as well.
Dressed as Daenerys Targaryen, and you have a blood-covered mouth and face, and you're holding what appears to be a human heart.
Excellent. That's what I was going for. Thank you so much.
So nailed it. Great job to O'Malley.
That's very kind of you. Thank
great
you. Well,
thumbnail.
I actually made the doughy gooey heart shape thing to bite into.
Oh yeah, and what's the behind the scenes on that? How'd you make that?
Well, I actually shaped it quite nicely, but then, it turns to goo pretty fast. So by the time I was holding it and it warmed up for a few seconds, started melting, he's all, just bite into it. And then I was like screaming and biting into it. And then wild eyes, bigger yelling, this and that. That's basically like when
Great
we're
direction.
shooting, it's just B. O'Malley saying bigger eyes, bigger yelling, bigger movements. It's like that the whole time. So it's very fun.
It's a lot of fun, and that sounds like great direction. Trying to get a great performance out of you. Like what I was saying with the reactions. Also, his directions. Sounds like the collaboration is great. You guys got a great working relationship.
Tells me exactly what I need to do and where I need to. It helps very much.
Hit your
He's
mark.
very good at letting me know what I need to do.
Crazier eyes. He's always yelling crazier eyes.
And then he rewards me with candy, so it's a good situation.
He just like tosses you. Couldn't think of a candy.
Okay, open your mouth.
The Reese's. So that's what it's like on set. No, that's good.
Yeah, it's good. We have fun. It's an excellent hobby.
So what was shooting that one like? The wig looks great. Looks just like Daenerys.
Thank you. Yeah, I did. The wigs I don't make those myself. I did make several of the costumes for that video. And so I guess I'm a little proud of that because I do it for fun. I wasn't necessarily worried about what any fans would think of the cosplay or whatever, but I do enjoy actually sewing and making some of the costumes. Mm-hmm. And so making the Daenerys costume was really fun. And so I sewed the outfit, and then there's a few, her sigil buttons.
Yep.
Pins. I made those out of the baking clay.
Okay.
And I had actual metal pieces and pins that I inserted in, and I baked them. So so that was really fun. I liked.
Yeah, that's some great DIY right there.
Thank you. It was fun. Like that's another fun part of this is doing things I wouldn't normally do, creating the pins. But
that's the hats,
really
right?
Well, the two of them remained intact throughout the entire shoot.
Wow.
One of them did not.
Well, you tried. It's probably the easiest or like the most cost effective and easiest way to do it, right? I'm just trying to think how I would do it. I don't know. I would probably just like print out something.
Yeah,
stick it to something.
That's kind of fun thing too. Is like I wouldn't, necessarily have the idea to try to make these pins out of clay and metal, but I did it and it was fun. I was like, hey, that's pretty cool. That's something that you tried to do and you did it, and that's a pretty good job. And do a little pat on my shoulder, or something. But I would like to say also that gave me the opportunity to. I think that's the first time I met the Alex Neville at the Alex Neville on
Shout
Twitter.
Out.
He's done several of our videos, and he has great stamina. And he's also done. He's actually a professional actor. So when he first said he would do it, I'm like, are you kidding me? And he's so fun and generous and charming and hardworking. He stays for a long time. One of them we did, he was there for like 6 hours and just helped clean up afterwards. So fun. And then Super Cynthia was in that one as well.
Oh, nice.
I know, she's so lovely.
You know all these Twitter people. So how many other Twitter people have been involved in is that your preferred method of meeting great fun people, or did you know them from somewhere else?
Well, okay, my very best girl, Jan. I'm sure everybody should know Jan. Her handle is at Please No DMs. She's part cat, part woman.
Oh. She's
fantastic. I love her forever and ever. She introduced me to Cynthia, and Cynthia was in the first. I was starting to have a lot of fun on Twitter in the beginning of 2015, and I talked to O'Malley, and we decided to reach out to some new friends and see if they wanted to submit shots to be in a video. We just thought it would be fun, and it was really fun. There was so many people that said yes, and we sent them the song, and they took video of themselves doing various things, and we just cut it in, and O'Malley's so clever, he figured out, we couldn't quite figure out how to make it work there's a video called Dry Mangina.
Yes.
It's a very complicated drink recipe.
Okay.
What it is.
Right.
But that one was fun too. We shot that on a Red camera. So ridiculous.
Oh, that's like a super expensive camera. That's like a fancy Hollywood type thing, right?
Oh,
I had heard of that.
Okay, so that's when I first met Cynthia. Jan introduced me to her, and she was so lovely and accommodating. And I met with her, and I shot her stuff, and we fell for each other and hugged. And she's been a friend ever since. And she's done that one, and she was in Targaryen, and her husband also came out for Targaryen as well. And I had some other old friends that were in there too. And so that one was really special for that reason. Where
a real community effort, sounds like.
It was. Yeah, and some girls came out to do the snacks for Drogo.
Yeah, I spoiled it. Yeah, don't be listening. I always say spoiler after, and that's too late.
It is.
At that point.
You really have to work on that, okay?
Yeah.
You have to work on that.
And I apologize. I will redact the spoiler in post.
Well, fixing in post. That's classic right there.
I can do it. Just make more work for myself later. Later me won't mind, right? Later me. Oh, but I do.
I love the note to later you. That's so good.
Well, hopefully he doesn't put some snarky comeback.
Oh my God, I know. What if you did it at nighttime while you were sleeping? Oh my God, I'm sorry.
Oh my God. Oh my goodness. So, all right. Well, let me see if I have any other.
Too long. Well, I guess I was kind of telling you how I got to meet some actual Twitter.
Because a lot of the people that I know are on Twitter. Sort of like the main crux of this. So it's great to hear about all the other great Twitter people. So we got Jan, we know Cynthia, talked about Anthony, I'm talking Octopus Caveman, and the Alex Neville, I think we've mentioned. So those are all great folks.
Alex was in Moose Knuckle Shuffle.
Knuckle Shuffle. Yeah, tell us more video stuff, more video stories.
That's one of my favorites.
Moose Knuckle Shuffle.
Mr. Bennington, and he's like, has O'Malley completely lost his mind? And it's just weird, and I don't know if it makes sense to anyone but us. But
would you say it's your weirdest?
I have no idea.
You can't even categorize them anymore.
Weird,
Yeah.
It makes me laugh. Alex makes me laugh on that. Oh my God. There's this one shot where he's just holding up an egg beater, making a super creepy face, and like spinning the egg beater. It's like, what the hell is he doing that? It's so good.
Listeners,
so
you got to watch that video and send us the timestamp of the face.
And but the funny thing is O'Malley's he's like this really talented musician. So he bangs out this like classic sounding, like from Johnny Cash era Western song, country song, like a classic country song. And it sounds like a legitimate good country song, but it's singing about like this chick who washes her boyfriend's jeans too tight, so he's got a huge moose knuckle at the country bar. So stupid.
Hey, I mean, it's the classic tale, and he just set it to music. But I will say that's the one thing. The music is it's very catchy, and I often find after I watch one of your videos, I'll be like later on, just be like, just like, or
right? Well, I mean, he composed that one.
Oh yeah, for sure. You could tell that it was some what's the guy's name? Rizwad. He's the guy who actually does the Game of Thrones score. Or
I don't know.
But yeah, that was very good. It's epic score.
I've never attempted that.
Nailing it.
Oh, thank you, Steven. You're so kind to me. Yeah, this one, I liked, the Targaryen song, O'Malley. It's almost like, I don't know, when the early 80s rock dudes were doing symphonic type stuff, or...
Yeah, prog rock or whatever, right? That's what you're thinking?
Yeah.
Sort of like early Genesis or, I don't know,
I don't want to
Rush.
I don't know a lot about that era of music, but it's kind of where it's the rock, but it's kind of epic sounding, like Queen type stuff.
Yeah, epic and hugely instrumental, like a lot of prodigious playing.
Unfortunately, that's before we started getting a professional mix, and Brian is so good, and he doesn't feel like that. I mean, O'Malley is so good.
Oh,
So
I mean,
like
you should get it. You should get it remixed. Now you got the hookups. Send your old masters.
I'm going to tell him that that's something I would do.
At least for your top 3 or whatever. At least for your EP, whatever you could put out a fully remixed and remastered Taffy Bennington best of EP. Throw it on Spotify.
Steven, you're like the ideas guy.
Yeah. And I think we should also plug Octopus Caveman's music, right? Because he is a musician as well.
Yeah, let's go. Yeah, let's talk about Anthony some more.
Can't say. We were just talking about him, but I know that also he is. His music is really cool, so everyone should check it out on SoundCloud. Yeah, go through his Twitter and get to his music.
I think he has a link right in his bio.
Link in bio.
He's on Spotify. He's on YouTube. He's also, just like O'Malley, a multi-talented artist where he paints, he puts out all kinds of, and his music is eclectic too.
It's pretty eclectic, and his tweets are hilarious. I don't want to make this all about Octopus Caveman, but tweets are very funny, and that's how I know him. But then I sort of started to find out that he does all this other stuff, which I totally appreciate. He's got that great music, and he's even done a couple videos.
He loads up videos, and there's this one where he's playing. What is it? It's a little baby synthesizer, and I just absolutely adore it. He's just sitting in this room and he's playing this song, and it's just beautiful. But it's got this cool kind of like harpsichord sound, and it's just awesome. I love it. He does a lot of different kinds. I mean, it's just in him. He has to create and do stuff, and that's just the way he is.
Very creative. That's why I was alarmed with the Twitter shadow ban and the potential him walking away from the platform, because we need him. He's so good.
Wow, thank you for telling me about that. I had no idea that had happened to him. I really hope that gets resolved soon.
It probably will. I'm sure when by the time that this comes out, it will have been resolved. We're working on it right now in this time, but in future time, he's already back probably.
Steven, is that a promise?
Well, all we can do is try. But now that it's on both of our radars, right? We do like one of those
things like that seem to be so temporary, and it seems awful, and then it gets resolved, and then we're just happy, glad that it's
yeah. So we'll just try to imagine that we're at that time. Welcome back, Octopus Caveman.
I feel like now that we're talking about Anthony, I feel like we should address the fact that he actually opened up a can of cat food and freaking stuck it in his mouth, and
in the video,
I'm not sure if he actually swallowed because it was horrifying and disgusting.
In the close-up shot where he's got it in his mouth, he does like spit it out, right?
Oh yes.
As would be the normal reaction, but listeners, you got to check out the video, the I Like Sandwiches video, and tell us what you think. Did he really eat the cat food?
Oh, was I not supposed to give that away?
It could be. I don't know. Did he? Did he eat it?
Well, it is. Let me just say, it is for sure a can of cat food.
For sure. That's undeniable.
And you have to decide for your own if you can tell.
It looks like there's a couple of bites already taken out when he spits out the thing. This must be like the third take.
I think he actually enjoyed it.
I don't think there's anything wrong with it. You think you can eat it. It's
delicious.
Human grade, right?
Yeah, he probably eats it all the time. He's quite an adventurous eater. I'm sure that he probably loved every single second of it.
All right, well, we should wrap up this Octopus Caveman talk, and we gotta get to these questions from Twitter.
Okay.
It's a question.
Wait a minute.
from
Also,
Twitter.
wait a minute.
Okay,
No.
wait.
Also,
Hold on.
there was. I'm sorry, I didn't tell you about James, Obscure Gent.
Oh, we haven't talked about the Obscure Gentleman.
My sweet, wonderful Lord James came out for. We did a cover of Metro by Berlin. I remember searching for the perfect. Wait, you remember that song?
Not sure.
Okay. Well, it's this, this classic 80s new wave. It's definitely new wave. And so I write James, and I'm like, listen, dude, I need some Vikings, like metal dudes, like headbangers. There you go.
Okay, I get it. This is.
You remember that
Berlin.
song?
No.
Oh, okay. You should listen to it. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I'll listen to it.
Berlin's a cool band.
Berlin is a cool band. I had heard of them, and I knew that they were synth music. But do they have another hit that I might know? Another top track?
Okay, I believe one of
What's
their
the-
most popular songs is "Take My Breath Away" from Top Gun soundtrack.
Whoa, yeah. Definitely
Yeah.
heard that about a million times.
Okay,
That's
yeah,
probably
all right.
how I would know them, yeah. So this is a different kind of sound, more synthy. And James, the Obscure Gent, who has the Obscure Gentleman Empire. Everyone got to go check it out. Buy some stuff.
Empire is a great description of what they do. Him
Yeah,
and
they
his
got great
brother.
stuff. Yeah, him
They've
and his
got
brother.
a whole group of dudes, and they do all kinds of stuff. And their comics are
Comics
Aaron-
is the number one thing I would say, right? That they're cranking
they're a
out. They
great
got those
team.
great comics.
James and Aaron. James does the writing. Aaron does the artwork. And James handles all I think he does most of the online and, web stuff.
He's
and
great at
everything.
that. Yeah, he's got it all down, right? You can and there's
Yeah,
always
we are a
pictures
tight
of
team. And then they do their contest and
yeah, they got a great contest, the
yeah,
Obscure.
it runs like an
for a
online
penny.
party, and people love it. And he's kind, and he does his own kind of. You were talking about how what is it that when people come that I need to make sure that they're comfortable and things. What is
Host?
it?
He's like a host.
Host.
Yeah,
Thank
he's
you.
like a community
You are so
builder.
wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank
Well,
you for the
his
work.
community is great, and people love that contest. It's crazy. It's a very cool Twitter contest that he runs every year, and it's sort of like a team-based competition where you write tweets and it's judged, and people move on, and they're pitted against each other in a battle royale style format, and it's
Yeah, and he's completely so organized with it.
It's
and
insane.
He has fun with
Yeah.
it, and he does it graciously, and it adds to the experience. It's a different level and a way to connect with new friends, and
It's truly its own
people
thing.
enjoy it.
Yeah. It should be its own. It should have its own like website. So if Twitter goes down, they can still do Obscure for a penny contest.
Oh my God, we should buy fast.
You got to move it offline. You got to have a live Obscure for a penny where people come and they instead of tweeting they like write down on a piece of paper and like post it on a wall. You could broadcast it.
Let's start that for
Yeah,
them.
I mean you could broadcast it. It would be on YouTube.
Okay.
All
I'll
right.
help
So
out with
did
that.
we catch everything now? Can we?
Well, no. See, he came out
else?
for
Yeah,
that. He
tell
was
us.
there all day. That was one of the days where my production skills were a little bit. I had several things. I had my little ones with me, and my husband brought his drone, and he was doing shots caught some drone shots, and it had been very busy for me. So James and Joe, they helped me transition into rocking out and having fun and enjoying myself, and I really appreciated them for coming out. But they were so amazing and so good, and so that solidified that friendship as well.
Yes.
It meant a lot to me that he would do that.
So nice. Well,
I know, right?
I think we've cleared
James
it
is a
up.
great-
He's a good guy.
He is.
All right. So
Thank you for letting me make sure I.
yeah, we gotta. It's.
Should let it
I'm not
up
gonna play
so
you
much.
off. I'm not the Oscars. I'm not the Oscars Technical Awards.
Steven, don't do that to me, please.
All right. Okay. I start playing Berlin again. All right.
Just to cut me off.
Okay. Now, because you're such a popular and nice person, you're so nice online, great funny tweets. Everyone should be following you at Sing with Taffy. there's so many great questions, and we got to get to them because.
Okay, I'm sorry,
we're only
Stephen.
on an
Thank you so
hour
much.
Show. So
You're such a delight to talk to. I can't help myself.
as are you. The feeling is mutual, and it makes it easier when we're having a few laughs. Okay, so let's get into the questions. Thank you again to everybody who sent a question to at FOTS Pod. I'm keeping the questions. Format is a little bit tweaked, but the questions are so good. Gonna ask them. This first question comes to us from one of my favorites, the ineffable and mystical Maven of Honor at Maven of Honor. I believe she lives an enchanted existence. She may be a traveler across realms.
Some sort of
not really sure.
Goddess or something.
Ethereal goddess. That's a great way to describe her. Yeah, she's great. Everyone got to follow her. And her questions. Where do you get your ideas for your songs? Which one do you like best? How long does it take to film and edit your music videos?
Okay, so I think we talked about ideas for songs, right? Basically, B. O'Malley, like, hey, I wrote a song about sandwiches, and it goes like this, and you say, fuck you, fuck him, and then we laugh for 5 minutes, and then that's how we get an idea for a song.
So O'Malley is a key component.
O'Malley calls me up, and yes, and then he says, let's do a song about moose knuckles, and then we laugh for 5 minutes, and then we make a video. That's how we get the ideas for the songs.
Sausage made.
Thank you.
Okay. It's the real Sophie's choice here. Which one do you like best?
Oh, let's see. Okay, I think I would like to try to narrow down to 3. Is that okay? If I had to?
I mean, it's not my question, but yeah.
Okay, well, Butterflies. I've always loved that one. The music is so fun. The 2001 Space Odyssey reference. Where I'm dressed up as I have a gorilla costume. I'm dressed, but I'm hitting a Connect 4 board with my microphone instead of bones.
Okay.
And the way he did that part, O'Malley, the way he did that and edited it and did the music for it, I think is fantastic. I love that. We did another one, Pontivost. It's about the flying space panty.
Okay.
I love that one. It was so fun. It's kind of like a space opera. And it's one of my favorite things. I love reading about space opera and stuff like that. And then, I think we talked about moose knuckles.
Yep.
It's pretty weird and fun. And so I think maybe those are if I had to say 3, I guess I'd go for that.
Wow. Great combo.
Thank
you. The final question, how long does it take to film and edit? What's the process? Well, what's the whole process from like he calls you up to it's posted online?
Okay, so calls me up, we set a date for recording, go to O'Malley's, we record, we have a good time. We'll record anything from 1 to 3 different tracks. Then we send it to our beautiful mixer, Paul Hurtubise.
Shout out.
He's our mix wizard, and he's fabulous and wonderful. And then we get it back from him, and then we set up a shoot date, and there's several different types of locations, but O'Malley's extremely fast with his editing, and he has, it's just because that's his profession, so he's really good at it. So he usually bangs them out pretty fast, and then at that point, I'd say most of them are. We'll see. From shooting to editing to upload is sometimes a week or sometimes 2. It depends on what's going on, like with his, personal shooting or music or whatever. But sometimes, we've recorded songs and then we haven't released. We end up shooting them like a year later, so it's a little all over the place. But for a tight schedule, we put them out start to finish in 2 weeks before.
Wow. Okay, but it could also vary depending on other extenuating circumstances.
Yeah, absolutely.
Great. Well, thank you so much to Mave for those questions. She also said
Maeve, honey.
She said happy podcasting. Thank you, Mave. It is happy podcasting.
So
she's the best. Yeah, everyone got to follow her at Maven of Honor. You'll be enchanted. All right, next question comes to us from super friend of the show. I'm talking about Mason at Maison Decree on Twitter. And her questions are, Taffy, when did you start making funny videos? Do you ever run out of ideas for videos? And if so, how do you power through it?
Mason asked me a question.
Mason. Her current handle on Twitter, her current display name is L'idiot du village.
she's so funny and wonderful and clever.
Agree.
That's so sweet that she asked a question. Okay, let's see. What was the question? What was the first part?
When did you start making them?
Okay, so that was 4.5 years ago. I went to I go to this convention called Jordan Con. It's for the Wheel of Time book series, which is now going to be a TV series. And it's very exciting for all of us. And so O'Malley, I got back from one of the cons, and he's like, hey, how about let's do a music video, and you're just going to sing Wheel of Time over and over and over and over again, and you're going to be some crazy showbiz broad on stage, like with your... I haven't thought about this well. I said, okay, and we had a total blast doing it, and then we just kept doing it after that because it was a fun thing for us to do.
That's great.
Yeah.
So our second question is, if you ever run out of ideas, how do you power through it? But maybe if you ever run into obstacles making the videos, how do you power through?
We don't run out of ideas because we're ridiculous and we just make an idea out of nothing.
The next silly thing is right around the corner.
Yeah, it's just like, it's like tweets. You can always fire something out, right?
Mm-hmm.
And me personally, I have obstacles almost every time with every video. And that's part of the reason I love them so much. It really gets me out of my comfort zone.
Yeah, it's a good challenge.
And I have to be resourceful, and sometimes I have to be positive and make things work, and it gives me a sense of accomplishment. And so yes, there's obstacles almost every time.
But you always power through.
Yes, because it has to get done.
That's your motivation? That's what you just say to yourself?
I mean, even if like something's not working out or I'm having a hard time scheduling something or whatever, like I always know that it's going to be so much fun. And it's always, I meet new friends online from doing them, and just I have a good time shooting them.
So it's focusing on the positive outcomes that you know are going to be at the end of the challenge.
Yes, and that was very eloquently put. Thank you for summing it up for me. I appreciate that help.
Well, I think that's what the info Mason was looking for. So thank you very much for the great question. Shout out. One of the best. One of my faves. I'm talking Mason. All right, next question comes to us from Ray. I'm talking at Sir Eviscerate.
Ray?
Ray comes in with a question. I think it's a joke. The question is, do you like sandwiches? Oh, it worked.
I like stuffing sandwiches in people's faces. I like sandwiches.
And then also screaming at people who don't?
Yeah.
There's part A and part B.
You fire a sandwich into it, you're going to get in trouble.
Yikes.
You should remember that, Stephen.
Well, thank you very much, Ray, for that great question. He also said this will be a rad episode. Looking forward to it. Feels pretty rad in the moment.
So sweet.
Feels good.
I've been having a good time. I love talking to you.
So Ray knew. Thanks, Ray. All right. So next question comes to us from friend of the show, Todd Williams at the Todd Williams. And he says this will be delightful. Another guess. So we'll see. I says I have a series of unrelated questions. Let's tackle these one at a time. Number one, favorite pickle variety.
Okay, Todd. Listen, I like green pickles. I like pickles, the bumps on them, the crunchy pickles. Pickles that come in a jar, pickles that come from the fridge, pickles from shoe pickles. Any kind of pickles will do. Yeah, any kind of pickles will do, Todd.
So not very specific.
No, that's the rule. That's the rule of my friendship with Todd. Like, pickles, you have to be accepted in all forms.
Okay. Pickles in the news recently. You guys hear about this? Pickles. There's a restaurant that's using pickles instead of bread for a sandwich. Did you hear about this?
Can you please send me all map coordinates?
I'll put a link in the show notes.
To Pickle Restaurant.
I'll find out what the pickle pickle policy is, and I will put it in the show notes. All right. So second question from Todd. Do you have a video production story where you had to put your foot down for artistic integrity or even just being a diva? Or both? Have you done one of each?
Just come out straight out and say, O'Malley is the boss, and that kind of attitude would absolutely not be allowed or tolerated for 1 second.
Runs a tight set.
Yes. That's how we get things done.
So have you tried, though? Have you tried to push the boundary? Tried to be a diva a little bit?
Okay, well, I did one. Okay, there's one song he did for me because I wanted to do it. It's Sauce Estival Colon. And we ended up having a great time. And he liked it that I actually came up with something that I wanted to do. And, and I just we didn't have a set lyrics or anything for it, and I just kind of went over there and I just started singing like some 60s French dude, or I'm sorry, lady, or dude, I don't know, maybe both.
Okay.
And then and it worked out really well, so I guess maybe that's the only time I was like, I really want to do black and white type of like French jazz song, and he said okay, so if that's the closest, I suppose, that I...
Yeah, that sounds like it to me. Yeah, for sure.
He was very accommodating and wonderful about it, so...
Yeah, you guys are great collaborators. I'm sure it was fine.
It was non-dramatic. Sorry I didn't have any drama.
Yeah, we want you to be more of a diva. When you're in producer role, I'm sure you wouldn't, but you could switch over, once everything's fine, you switch into performer role and freak out. Be like, where's my heart I'm supposed to eat?
I'm absolutely going to be doing this.
But
soon.
you're like yelling at yourself,
next time.
like you were supposed to put it out. I guess it doesn't work.
I'm actually going to be a jerk next time, and I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be so fun.
Yeah. Well, we're looking forward to that. Hopefully. Apologies to O'Malley in advance.
Sorry, O'Malley.
Sorry. All right. And the final question from Todd Williams is. Second favorite pickle variety?
Pickles that do not come in shoes.
Ooh, that what? Pardon me?
Pickles that do not come in shoes. Pickles that don't come in shoes.
Okay. Non-shoe pickles.
Yes.
That's your second favorite.
Yes.
All right. Well, everyone got to follow Todd at the Todd Williams, one of the Twitter's best legend. Look for the AVI with the statue.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, next question. Let's keep these questions coming. Next question comes to us from Joel Crass at Joel Crass. What a lovely local gentleman and friend of the show supporter. He asks...
I agree. He's lovely.
He's so good. He's always sending nice notes, and I really appreciate Joel's listenership. So, Joel, thank you for listening, and thank you for your questions, which is, as the most important artist of our time, who do you consider your peers?
Joel is a friend to so many and so supportive. And, Joel is an amazing musician as well, and he plays gigs all the time.
I had heard that in my very city. Or near.
In your city. You should go see him play.
Yeah.
Sometimes he sneaks in some post about, his band is playing, and they play, I think, on Sundays or something usually.
Yeah,
I'm not exactly sure, but you should
sort of
definitely
a residency.
go see him. He played a song on a steel plate or something. I think he likes to mess around with other stuff, too.
Oh, right.
Well, I have a very disappointing answer for that because Joel is very kind and he hypes me up a lot, and I don't have peers. I saw a squish squirrel on the road one time that was
squirrel.
Dead, and I was like, hey, I relate to that. I don't know.
Actually, I heard Squish Squirrel had a script on the blacklist.
I'm sorry, Squirrel, for being the same as you, and you ended up like a street goner.
R.I.P. All right, well, thank you very much, Joel.
Thank you for your question and your support for Friends of the Show and for our videos and everything. Thanks, Joel.
Joel, thank you. All right, next question comes to us from James Douglas at JamDoug with 2 G's on Twitter. And the question is, did you eat any of Octopus Caveman cat food?
Absolutely not.
You didn't? You didn't scoop up the leftovers?
No.
Have you ever eaten cat food? Just as a follow-up.
No.
Any animal food at all?
Maybe.
Here we go. Got to keep digging. Then we can find that dirt. What was it? And don't say like it was seeds.
It's pretty much the standard dog biscuit that everyone has had at some point in their life, okay?
I got it.
You know exactly what I'm talking about, Steven.
Yeah, like the standard milk bone.
Yes, okay?
Type dog treat. And how was it?
Oh, I don't know.
Dry?
I just had it for breakfast. I was just hungry. This is this morning I'm talking about.
Right, yeah. I find them a little dry, is all I'm saying.
Yeah, but it's good for when you're hungry and you got to eat something.
Something. That's human grade.
Yeah.
All right, well, thank you, James, for that great question. And you got to check him out on Twitter. He's got some really funny tweets.
He does.
All right.
He's a very friendly guy, too.
Yeah, he's really nice. Great member of the Twitter sharing community. All right.
And what a wonderful community it is. I don't think we've talked about that, but wow.
I mean, yeah. But basically every single person listening can count themselves a member of that community. And, wouldn't be here without them.
So much support and friendship and joking when people are down and, like, just lifting spirits.
The support.
And goofing and appropriate.
The friendship.
Hitting at each other and teasing each other. It's just a wonderful mix of love and friendship. It's awesome. And reading all these thoughts and hilarious things that people think of, like, it's so cool.
We're very lucky to consider ourselves a part of the community that boasts such great members. Like the person who asked our next question. I'm talking about Mark McGark at Markedly on Twitter. And if you haven't followed him, you got to do it. And you should go listen to his podcast. It's Making Friends.
Yes.
It's great.
What a sweetheart.
So sweet. Probably, I don't know, in my top 5 like nicest people online I've ever met.
I agree.
In the pantheon of like nice people online that are just super nice.
And so silly.
Him. He's a little silly. He can be a little
silly things.
Yeah, the chat that I had with him, go check it out. In season 1 of Friends of the Show was so much fun. One of those ones where it was just like so easy to chat with him. And,
wonderful.
Yeah,
I can imagine.
I'd love to meet up with him IRL once I make it to big New York City one day.
Wonderful. The sky will explode with the stars.
It'll be a happy day indeed. All right. Now Mark says, "Hi, Taffy. I think you're great. My questions are, 1, what is your favorite look or costume from your videos?"
Okay. I guess Pontivast.
Oh, yeah. What was so good? What was so what made it your favorite?
Well, there's two different costumes, and one of them is this giant pagan goddess, and then I get to stomp on space gorillas that are okay. I wore the space gorilla costume as well. That was actually difficult. I had to wear that, and I put on a tutu, and I'm shooting a gun, but I had to jump around in that costume for probably about 15 minutes.
It gets sweaty in there.
It was a little more challenging than I expected to be. I'm like, oh, this will be no problem. I can jump around in my gorilla costume, but I was like, holy shit! I had to like stop and like do the full bend down with like hands on the knees.
Oh
position.
Yeah.
Catch my breath for a second.
Yeah. That old hands on the knees.
Come on, let's get going. It's like, come on, let's go. I'm like, I'm gonna die. No, it wasn't. He's very accommodating when I do need to take a break. But there was that. Yeah, I liked dressing up as the giant pagan woman.
For sure.
And wielding a hammer and screaming, and also, but just that character is really fun to do. I like that one.
Yeah, that sounds great. All right, and second question from Mr. McGark. What is your idea of a perfect sandwich? Now, this is a classic McGark question. So open-ended.
A pickle sandwich.
That's it. It's the pickle sandwich. What's on your perfect pickle sandwich, Taffy?
Pickles.
So you're doing the pickles as bread thing.
9 thick dill pickles.
And then different kinds of pickles within the sandwich? Or...
I know what I'm having for dinner.
You getting that toasted or?
What?
do you get it toasted?
I'll probably just end up throwing the bread on the floor and eating the pickles.
Yeah. I mean, it's pickle sandwich.
The duck or something.
Just a cold pickle sandwich.
Pickles.
All right. Well, thanks again, Mark, for the great questions. We think you're great.
We think you're great, Mark. Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right. We got some more questions here. The next question comes to us from a llama. I'm talking about at Llama in a Tux. And the question is,
Hi, Llama.
Ask her which she likes more, having hair or having sandwiches.
No.
Another Sophie's choice here.
Nothing could prepare me for that question. I don't like having to choose, and quite frankly, I'm upset with you, Llama, for asking that. Wait, do I still have to, okay, let's see.
Yeah, I think you have to answer our friend.
Okay, I'm going to answer, my llama friend, I will say I like having hair because I could always cut my hair and make a sandwich out of it.
Oh, no, I think that precludes...
Is that a cheat code?
Yeah, that's like a workaround. I don't know. You'd have to ask...
Okay, I like the question.
You'd have to I don't know. As the arbiter of this question, I'm not sure if that would even stand. Because any sandwich... So if you're you wouldn't be able to have...
What if I could grow sandwiches out of my hair?
No, that's what we're saying. You have no access to sandwiches. Once it is in the form of a sandwich, it disappears from your universe. Or you are unable to grasp it or eat it. So if someone could hand you a hot dog, which is a sandwich, and then it would disappear as soon as you would touch it. So just casually slip that in.
That was so beautiful. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to pick sandwiches because hair is just, it's just hair. I mean,
yeah, I'm sure you look great bald.
I enjoy hair or no hair on people.
Yeah.
Eyes or no eyes on people. If they have it, I like it. If they don't, I still like them.
Yes, a lot of great...
If you have sandwiches, you don't like sandwiches, and you can F off forever.
Yeah, you really don't need hair.
No, absolutely. So, that was very thought-provoking, and wow, thank you for the challenge.
Yeah, so we started at A, and then we made it all the way back to sandwiches.
Yes.
So you like sandwiches. All right.
You're helping me learn something about myself.
Well, I'm glad. All right. So the next question comes to us from friend of the show at Steve versus Ninjas. Steve versus Ninjas. Oh, and he's going to provoke a story. His question is, tell us how you met Mr. Lynch.
Oh. Steve, he's so sweet. Hello, Steve. Okay. So, Mr. Bennington's been working with David for many years on his films, and he invited us one time. David does art as well, photography, and he invited us to a show, and let's see, what is her name? Grace. We walked up, he introduced me, we were talking. He's extremely lovely and sweet, wonderful, gracious person. And then the mom from Twin Peaks, Sarah, her name is Grace Zabriskie. If you saw her, you'd know her. Lovely actress, big blue eyes. She's wild, right? So she walks up to him and not in a rude way at all, just starts talking to David, and they start having this exchange, and they're just saying this crazy stuff to each other. They just go into this whole thing, like I'm sure that they do every time because they've been working together for years, and it was just absolutely wild. That's like when I just first met him, I got to see these two people, super creative, talented people with great imaginations, just do they started riffing off each other, what made mostly sense to them. It was like a magical kind of thing to experience.
So it's really kind of an eye on what it might be like on set.
Yeah.
When he's, directing or whatever, trying to work with other performers.
Yeah, and they've been working together for so long, they have a friendship and stuff. He has a great rapport with all of his actors. I've been to a few events and gotten to know him and other people he's worked with, and everyone has wonderful things to say about him. And when he hires people, he hires them, their personality. So he wants them to come be themselves, and he creates an environment for them to come and just do their thing. And they love being there, and I think that's how he creates these magical films.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes total sense, and it's very cool to get that sort of insight into it. Yeah. Like looking out. Yeah, we just finished watching the new Twin Peaks, and yeah, it's weird.
That last episode from that season was pretty wonderful thing to witness, right?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, the whole thing. I mean, yeah,
the whole thing.
it's a whole thing. But yeah, shout out to
dive into his mind when you're watching his work.
Shout out to David Lynch and all of his good weird work. Do you do TM?
I don't. I do other things to calm myself and allow myself to contribute to the world as much as I possibly can, and to those friends that have graced me with their presence. And I think just like everyone does, we all find our things to do.
So what is
certainly
your thing?
Seems to have a positive, amazing effect for so many people.
Yeah, for sure. What's your thing to do to unwind or to de-stress or to meditate?
Sometimes if I'm already in a very stressful state of mind, I'll catch myself I'll realize I've been staring at a certain branch on a tree for like 10 minutes.
Okay.
So I think my brain just kind of shuts down,
just like zone out.
Down. You know, I have been to some events, some of the transcendental meditation events. Like I did go to the Festival of Disruption. I've been to that a few times, but we went to the one last October. But it was so amazing for me because I got to see my favorite musician is Mike Patton, and he performed with DJ Qbert, and they did a whole set, and they did songs from his movies, but they also did their own thing, and it was so awesome. It was so cool.
Wow, sounds awesome.
But Reza he got up and did was it 13 Chambers? What is it called?
Yeah, like the classic Wu track.
26 Chambers?
Yeah.
It's blowing my mind.
Wu-Tang fans, write us. Let us know how many chambers.
I'm so sorry. It's
26, I think. You're right. Is it?
I think it's 26 Chambers. Please, I apologize for not. Well, anyways, I got to see a live performance of that.
36 chambers.
And they DJ'd it for the whole entire film, and it was amazing.
So thanks to David Lynch, you got to have a great artistic experience.
Yes.
That's great.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Really cool. Thanks, Steve versus Ninjas, for allowing us to hear that great story. And everyone check him out at Steve versus Ninjas. Who's going to win? My money is on Steve.
Me too.
All right. Now here's the next question. And it comes to us from friend of the show, Dave Cactus himself. It's so great. Everyone's got to follow him. It's at Dave_Cactus on Twitter. Friend of the show. Go listen to his episode. All right. And the question is, if you could pick any cartoon cactus and cartoon cowboy to hang out with in Santa Monica, who would you pick? There are no wrong answers.
Oh, I have no idea. I didn't even know that those two things existed. Cactus and woodies to hanging out. No, I've actually already been graced with their presence. They were here visiting in LA for several things. They went for a fundraiser, Chalk Walk with James from Obscure Gent.
All right.
They raised a bunch of money for children, which is beautiful. And they made time for several friends, and we met up at the Santa Monica Pier, and when I saw them, it was like this ray of sunshine behind their heads.
Oh.
And it's serious, they're just so lovely and wonderful, and I had so much fun talking to them, and we all had dinner, and we walked down to the water at nighttime, and just were having a good time. And
dang, that sounds like a perfect date.
They're lovely, and they're hilarious and thoughtful and clever and smart, and it's just I'm looking there. I believe they're coming back into the area again, and I'm probably going to rope them into doing a video with us for sure.
So your official answer is Dave Cactus, Woody Barrelson?
Yes. Okay, yes.
Dave, you got to make it clear at Dave_Cactus at Woody Barrelson. You got to check them out on Twitter because they are the cartoon cactus and cowboy to hang out with Were they
They're
ever
the
to be
only
in
ones.
Santa
They're the
Monica
only ones to hang
on
out
the
with.
pier?
Thank you. Stephen, you're very good at reining in and making sure I stay focused.
Got to
really
keep
need
this
it. Can
podcast
you please move
moving.
to LA and do this for me daily?
Yeah, hey. I lived in Palm Springs. That's pretty close.
It is. That's a very pretty place. Did you enjoy it?
Oh, it was great. Yeah. You know what I like? The dry heat instead of this humidity that we got up here.
Oh, you have humidity there, do you?
Yeah, right now we don't have heat at all, but
Okay.
we're heading into the summer, and it'll probably be that humidex factor.
What do you do to deal with that?
You just gotta kind of suck it up and just complain,
Okay.
maybe just complain about it. Be like,
Okay,
oh, with the
that's nice.
humidex, it's friggin' 50 in
Absolutely.
here. You know, just complain.
Well, you could just like blow a fan on you constantly and pretend you're in Palm Springs.
Yeah, that's
Just
what I
everyone
would do.
around. Like, get one of those ones, like, just build the contraption then where it's like sits on your shoulders and it's just aiming straight from the top of your head.
The other thing
And
that's
just
good,
blow down on your head and just have that dry heat.
yeah, a constant fan on you is good. Usually I do have one, at least at night, blowing on like my feet or something on the super hot days. But the other thing that's sometimes good is, you know, those mist fans? It's just like a little fan and it just like squirts mist. Yeah, that's pretty good. You would think that more humidity would be bad, but for some reason it's fine.
I'm sure the cooling effect is wonderful.
Yeah, it's the little fan that it evaporates the water off your skin, thus cooling your skin. Okay, that's the science.
Very clever and resourceful. I'm impressed.
All right, so thank you very much, Dave. Let's get to the next question, and it is, of course, from Danny at Marty Grown.
Danny, another lovely being.
And he asks, how does Taffy create such unconventional and endearing entertainment out of conventional topics?
Oh, okay, well.
You have a great partner.
O'Malley calls me, and he's like, do you want to do a song about eating dirt? And then we laugh for 5 minutes, and then we do a song about eating dirt.
Such a conventional topic.
Do you want to do a song about, what else have we done?
You've done
about
some
fresh
conventional topics. Yeah, that dry mangina, that's a song.
Let's do a song about fresh hot bread, and I'll just sing that over and over again, and I'll shove bread into life-size Gollum statue's face for 25 minutes straight.
Hey, I mean, whatever works.
And pretend I'm burning my fingers on a hot plate over and over again.
When the muse speaks.
Does that answer the question?
I think that answers the question. All right.
Any song, any word that pops in your head, you just make a song out of it. And
great tip. All right, we got a few more questions here. We're starting to wind it down. The next question comes to us from Morgan. I'm talking about Sweatpants Share. I'm talking about at @house_feminist on Twitter.
now here's a lady who's got some serious video chops.
She has pivoted to video
content,
hard, and
editing,
it's working.
Music. She does effects on her videos. She is good.
She's doing it all and only getting better, and that has only started recently. So it's gonna continue to blow people away. It's great stuff. Yeah. So I'm talking about House Feminist, and here's the question: Taffy, were you born queen of the beautiful baddie angels, or did they choose you as their leader upon seeing your natural talent for it? That's more of like it's a sweet compliment instead of a question, but.
It is. She's just filled with, I don't mean to overuse these words, but she's light, love, luscious, like anything. I mean,
any L word.
She has all these beautiful words come out of her brain in beautiful orders. And then she's, gracious and loving and supportive and want to make sure her friends are having fun and doing their best, and then she makes these videos with her dog, and it's just so funny. And she's just all of a sudden she's just like, oh, I'm making video, and then like she's so amazing with the editing. Like she seems to just be very capable of doing well no matter what she tries.
Well, she's just doing it, and what she's doing is great.
Right.
So you got to check it out at @house_feminist on Twitter. watch her little videos, and all her tweets. You know, her tweets has
I guess
always
I
been
should
great.
say, Morgan,
but the
thank
videos
you.
are
It's
new.
a very kind thing to say. Thank you.
Morgan,
And thank you.
That was
for being
very
so-
nice. Thank you for supporting the show with the question. And let's keep it rolling. Oh, look, a question from friend of the show, Rads, at Feeling Euphoric. One of the little sweetest, nicest people on Twitter. You got to listen to her episode.
She's so
It was
sweet.
so much fun talking to her. And yeah, she's just cute as a button and really funny too. And can whip you up whatever hot beverage you like. Lickety split. Top quality. Probably do that latte art thing. So her question is, what is your secret special skill?
Okay, Rads, honey, I really had to sincerely answer you because I appreciate your question and think you're absolutely delightful and fun and wonderful. And so I have gotten pretty good at spray painting things, and I've been doing it for a while, and I really enjoy it. I either transform existing things with spray paint, or sometimes I paint on canvas, or I spray larger things, but using spray paint is something that I've gotten decent at, and I really enjoy it, and I love completely changing the appearance of something with it.
Cool. I like the sound it makes when you shake it.
Oh, heck yeah. That's a big part of it as well.
It's a big part of it. I know that's what why Banksy got into it. I think it was the shaky sound. Click, 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 click.
Totally.
So thank you so much for that great question. And everyone, everyone I'm sure who is listening is following Rads at Feeling Euphoric. You got to follow her. She's great.
She is great. She's so lovely and wonderful and funny.
All right, well, we've done it. Now we are winding down. We've gotten to the final question. Again, thank you to everyone who has submitted a question.
I know, it's so sweet.
It's so sweet. It's probably the best part of the whole thing. You know, it's the community. All right.
It is. It's pretty amazing.
And frequent question asker and anagram wizard Thomas Brendel at the Solemn Bard. He says, he's stoked for the return of Friends of the Show. Well, this is it, baby. Thanks, Thomas.
That's so cool.
And he has anagrammed Sing with Taffy into Fist Fight Yawn.
Oh my God, I got an anagram for Thomas.
Been anagrammed.
What a gift.
That's a good one, too.
So sweet.
Fist Fight?
That's awesome.
I sort of mispronounce it. It's Fist Fight is a question. So it's like Fist Fight, Yawn. Like he always makes it into a little sentence, so this one kind of makes sense.
Yeah, he sure does. I've seen it.
Yeah, he does great. So if you love anagrams, you got to follow him at the Solemn Bard, Thomas Brendel. So his question is, what is your preferred way of resolving a conflict?
If I'm involved with it, I take responsibility, whether I am or not, immediately, and that usually diffuses things.
Take responsibility. So what do you mean? So what is an example of a conflict that you resolve by taking responsibility? Like, trying to visualize it.
I don't find myself involved in conflicts very often, but if I feel like I possibly have, I'm not doing very well with this question.
Like
if
a difficult question. I don't know.
Fighting,
I don't know an
I would
answer
probably
either.
just throw spears at them and tell them I'd start chanting fight, fight, fight.
That is not resolving.
Sure it is.
That is inciting, and you know it. Put that spear down.
Conflict. I don't.
Well, how about we just take your first answer, which was great. I should not have pushed you.
Well, if I feel like if there's...
No, it was a great answer.
If I've upset someone at all, I'm just like, I'm a stupid asshole.
Take responsibility. Apologize
I'm wrong,
if you're
right. I'm stupid. You're not. You're amazing. I'm an idiot.
The classic Dumb and Dumber apology.
Chanting that, and that tends to diffuse things. Yeah, that's good.
That's good. And that's it. And I think that's just about a wrap for Season 2, Episode 1, Episode 52, or Episode 1 of Season 2 of Friends of the Show. What do you think?
Don't you want to talk a little bit more? I don't want to hang up.
I would love to, but I haven't had dinner.
Oh, okay. Go eat. You gonna have pickle sandwich?
Pickle sandwich is waiting for me.
That's so. You should go eat those sandwiches then.
Num num num. Yes. Eat the sandwiches. I'm gonna eat all the sandwiches.
This was so fun, Stephen. Thank you so much for calling and talking.
So that's yes. No, thank you so much for coming on.
Delightful. I love talking to you.
Well, I'm glad. I think we all had a fun time, and we'll see how it comes out in post. I'll try to get the good edits in,
Okay.
and we'll see. So yeah, if you like the episode, go ahead and follow Taffy on Twitter at SingWithTaffy, and if you like the podcast, go ahead and follow the podcast at FOTS Pod on Twitter. We're trying new stuff. It's season 2.
Season 2.
Woo! I used to play the podcast theme to end it, so maybe I'll do that again.
Okay, cool. Thank you for everyone for being our friends, and you are wonderful, and we appreciate your time.
Yes, thank you so much
for joining us on Friends of the Show.
That's it. Bye. Well, that's it. I hope you enjoyed this Season 2 premiere episode with Taffy. And you gotta check out her videos online on YouTube and follow her on Twitter at SingWithTaffy. She is just the loveliest. And be sure to follow at FOTS Pod on Twitter for some great new content coming this season. And you can follow me at Skinner Steven on Twitter as I continue to do the jokes online, and as a twist, some are okay. Also, you can point your browser to www.stephenwskinner.com for all the past episodes, or check us out on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever great podcasts are got. Thank you to Ruby Coast for the music, thanks to Kyle I. Davidson for the theme, and thank you so very much for listening. I am Stephen W. Skinner. Have a great one.